Ever wondered what it might be like to drive down the ice valleys of a dwarf planet? Yeah, doesn't sound quite right, does it? Pluto deserves better. In this video, we're going to be looking at 5 reasons why Pluto should be a planet. So, let's get to it. Hi everyone, Becky here. The first reason, of course, Pluto has an atmosphere. Unlike many other moons, Ganymede, Callisto, Pluto's atmosphere is relatively thick, composed of nitrogen, ammonia and carbon monoxide. Just a small change in Pluto's temperature could lead to an exponential increase in density. From as little as 18 hectopascals, it could increase to a quarter that of Earth. Indeed, at such density, the Pluto atmosphere that you can see depicted here means that nitrogen could flow on the surface. We'll look at that in a bit more detail later on. Our second reason is that Pluto is terraformable. Its proximity to Earth is relatively constant, unlike other bodies like Eris or Sedna, which have highly elliptical orbits and huge variations in temperature. Here we see our travellers, our first colonisers, travelling across the Sputnik Planitia, 1,000 kilometre wide basin. In the distance we see the beautiful mountains of Pluto, and in the sky the interesting depicted moon of Charon. Our third reason is perhaps one of the strongest. Here we see Clyde Tombaugh, Pluto's discoverer in 1930, and in the background changing views of Pluto as they've improved through the ages. The point is that Pluto has history. Unlike Sedna or Eris or Makemake, Pluto spent many years as a planet, and I think that it justifies a special case. Of course, our views improved with Hubble Space Telescope until eventually New Horizons showed us a new diverse geography on Pluto, with huge landmarks like the Tombaugh Regio, Cthulhu Macula, like a whale on the equator, or indeed the Sputnik Planitia that we've already mentioned. I believe that Pluto is a special case and should be an honorary planet at the very least. Our fourth reason is that Pluto itself is in a system of many different bodies. Here we can see its largest satellite Charon orbiting. Pluto with a diameter of 2,000 kilometers and Charon with a diameter of roughly half that have a common barycenter that, as we can see depicted here, is outside of Pluto. This almost means that really they're a double planet system, and that gives it an edge. Charon, discovered in 1978, is believed to have cryogeysers, and perhaps was formed by a collision between Pluto and another Pluto-sized body, which gave birth to other moons like Hydra, Nix, Kerberos and Styx, all much smaller than the main two of the system, but could be destinations nonetheless in a terraformed Pluto in the future. Our fifth reason is that after perhaps the Moon and Mars, maybe Titan and one or two other bodies nearer to Earth, Pluto is certainly going to be one of the first destinations we colonise. Here depicted we see a domed city, and outside a factory pumping out methane into the atmosphere that works as a greenhouse gas. As we've mentioned before, the hotter Pluto gets, the more dense the atmosphere becomes. In fact, another reason that Pluto is such a great place to colonise is that it's believed and prophesied that underneath the surface is a liquid water ocean. What more could we need? Well, Pluto's distance and yet relatively uneccentric orbit, of course in comparison to Sedna or Eris, means that it could be used as a base to get to explore the Kuiper belt, or perhaps even further to the Oort cloud. Pluto will have to be colonised, and it will have to be livable, as the 5.5 light hour lag to Earth means it's remote controlling things from that distance is virtually impossible. A further reason, of course, is that Pluto's gravity well is small. Many different bodies, as we've mentioned, but small gravity wells, so relatively easy to get between the bodies. Imagine living on Ice City Pluto with its beautiful liquid nitrogen lake flowing, with swirling carbon dioxide, methane and oxygen clouds in the distance. Unfortunately, we'll probably still have to live under the dome, as temperatures for human habitation will just still be too low. perhaps the atmosphere not thick enough to breathe. Maybe one day we'll visit Uranus and Neptune from Pluto. Interestingly, Uranus, not Neptune, is generally the closest planet. Perhaps we'll have spaceship transit between Charon and Pluto on a regular basis. Who knows? What we do know is that Pluto really should be a planet because of the reasons we have outlined in this video. Hope you've enjoyed watching. Don't forget to check the title page for other videos on places like Titania or Rhea, maybe Iapetus, or Saturn's moon Titan. Don't forget to like and share if you enjoyed it yourself, and please, I look forward to seeing you on the next one.